Hello and welcome, Electus Society members. This is your president and founder, Tim Duffy. So in this video, we're going to provide you an orientation to know everything there is to need to know about Electus Society. So what is the agenda? I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, a little bit about the mission of Electus Society, who can join, all the different mentorship benefits, why Electus Society was even created, the values that shape the organization, and networking opportunities to give you a chance to network with other leaders from across the country. I'll be discussing expectations, what your next steps are, and a preview of level 2 and level 3 training. So who am I? I've been doing leadership and success training for almost 2 decades now. So it all started back at my school where I went to college, Queens College City University of New York. I was an active student leader. I eventually became one of the youngest student government presidents to serve. And the reason I was so successful as a student government president was because I had great mentors, people who had over 30 years of experience on student leadership development. And as a result, we developed a great team and had a lot of different accomplishments. So I got the CUNY Leadership Award in both 2004 and 2006. Also, while I was at Queens College, I met one of my mentors, Gary Turak, the president and founder of the National Society of Leadership and Success. I really love the organization to help teach students about success and leadership. So I started my own chapter at Queens College, and that was a great experience. After college, I really wanted to serve. So I worked in government for 3 years. I learned a lot from that experience. But while I was doing that, I still went back to my college to train other student leaders. So when Gary approached me and said, "Hey, Tim, why don't you come work for NSLS and we can help grow this organization?" I said, "All right, I'm ready. I'm ready for a change." And that's what I did. And I worked there, if you can believe it, for over 12 years. I wore many different hats in sales, account management. I was even the broadcast producer, taking over the responsibilities of the president, where I got to select and interview nationally renowned speakers, authors, and celebrities. On the right side, you can see some of the pictures of the people that I got to meet and engage with and learn from. And so it was a really, really a rewarding experience. So over my tenure, I managed over 40 employees, over 600 interns. So that was really my training ground for management. And so after I had left NSLS because I needed a new change, I worked in the startup world. I served as a COO of 2 startup companies, but eventually I left that. And now I'm currently the president and founder of Duffy Leadership Incorporated. That's just my business that I'm self-employed, where I do training. I also do coaching, but my real passion is Electus Society. That is established as a nonprofit. It's meant to help continue this mission that's in my bones of creating the next generation of leaders. So what is the mission of Electus Society? Is to create active, motivated, and engaged leaders. Here are the type of people who should connect and represent Electus Society. If you identify with this, you are to be a member. If you are an ambassador of peace and goodwill, I am an ambassador of peace and goodwill. I am an ambassador of light in every dark room. I am divine love, and I repel criticism, judgment, and hate. If that resonates with you, then we definitely want you as a member of Electus Society. Now, who can actually join Electus Society? Any leaders. So collegiate leaders in leadership positions, people in student government, offices, senators, club organization officers, such as your president, vice president, treasurer, secretary, or a lot of our members now are in the workforce. So, we now opened it up to any professional who serves in some kind of leadership capacity can learn some of the trainings and tools that we teach at Electus Society. You must apply to become a member, and in order for you to be a member in good standing, you just have to commit to the values. So what are the membership benefits? Well, again, there's resume enhancement and a certificate of completion when you complete all these different trainings. This can help you get a job, after you graduate, or add additional skills to your current job. We're going to provide you personal and professional skills training for free. Okay, that means there's over $27,000 worth of value of free training that's over 30 hours that you can access right now. Okay, there's also going to be an opportunity for you to network with other leaders across the country. So this is what the certificate of completion looks like when you complete each level of the different trainings. And so once you complete the first level of the trainings, you'll be posted on our website. Okay. And so there is the example of what that will look like. Now, why did I create Electus Society? Well, I first realized, I was involved with different leadership organizations. I was involved with honor societies. I was involved with NSLS. And I think it's really great to learn about leadership and learn about setting goals, having your passion, having a vision, things like that. But here was the problem. I needed something that was more than just learning about leadership versus here's a step-by-step guide on how to be a leader. And unfortunately, I don't believe that this is really taught in colleges, right? I know because I attended every leadership retreat I could at my school. And still, I believe the training was insufficient. So I wanted to provide something more than what was currently being provided. And the other big thing on reason why I created Electus Society, I believe at this time we are having a problem with bigger egos with less respect and less integrity. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, there are people that claim to be leaders, right? They serve in leadership positions. And guess what? There's a lack of humility. There's a lack of dialogue. It's the type of thinking that they know best. And with respect and integrity, again, it's not respecting other people who disagree with you. How else are we going to continue as a society if you can't learn to communicate with people that disagree with you? And when it comes to integrity is, how many times have you ever met people and said that they were going to do something and promised to do something and then never do it? Or they make decisions that's in their own self-interest, but not in the best interest of their followers or their team members or their organization. And so that's kind of really demonstrated to me as cancel culture, where it's basically anybody who I dislike or I disagree with, silence them, don't give them a platform. Well, guess what happens when you do that? You end up forcing those adversaries into the underground, and then you don't get to challenge their beliefs. You don't get to have discussions. You don't have an opportunity to influence and persuade them. And there's also a lot of virtual signaling. It's like, oh, I don't like that. Let me put a badge on my social media page on how I'm against this. But saying that you're for or against something, is that really actually causing positive change? No, there's so much more. A lot of the work of a leader goes on behind the scenes. And so my job and the job of Electus Society is really to teach you those skills on how to influence behind those scenes in those closed door meetings where all decisions are made before something becomes a law, before it's announced to the public. Like, this is the hard work that people really need to learn how to understand. And then the last thing is, I think that the big problem is students are not really prepared for the real world. And why can I say that? Well, I've been in the real world after I graduated for almost 2 decades now, and I was filled with all this leadership development in college, and I got all these different accomplishments. I thought I was going to be king of the world. And guess what I discovered? Once I got into the job market, I realized that there were so many skills that I lacked that I really needed to develop. You see, college does a really great job at teaching people, about education, about learning about different ideas, meeting different people, but it doesn't really prepare you to be an excellent worker, to help serve in an organization. And so I did recognize that there was a lot of, deficiencies in our current education system, as well as deficiencies in the different leadership programs. Why? Because I worked with them. That's my career was involved with leadership development at different colleges and universities. So what are the values of Electus Society? Well, here's what they are. It's service, all right? It's humility, it's mentorship, it's advocacy, it's respect and teamwork. And it's also followership, because in order to be a good leader, you have to be a good follower. It's integrity, doing what's right, even though no one's looking. It's turning away from the dark side of leadership. Now, again, not a lot of people talk about the dark side of leadership, because when you're in a position of power, of leader, of people following you and influencing you, you can become tempted. And I was tempted. And I'm going to share with you throughout these different trainings what the decisions I made and how I made these decisions and the mistakes that I made. And I think it's very, very important for you to learn from my mistakes. Also, the values are communication and honesty. It takes a lot of courage to be honest with people, to tell them the truth, even though they don't want to hear it, or risk your job, or risk offending people. Right now, we're living in a society where everybody's outraged by the things that you say. But you know what? Sometimes honesty is the most courageous thing that you can do. So those are a lot of different values. So how did you can really remember all of them? Well, I want you to be as a smart Fitch, and smart as an owl, playing with the little H, and then a Fitch, which is like a polecat or a ferret. And so the reason why is I want you to be very wise, like an owl, but a Fitch or a polecat or a ferret, they're very clever. They sneaky because they can actually catch their vermin. And that's what I really want you to do, is be able to be behind the scenes, influential, be wise, and do good things, and so that's my mission, to create the next generation of leaders. And so you'll also notice throughout a lot of these trainings, I'll mention Star Wars, because I think Star Wars really does a great job, at least the earlier episodes, of talking about this light and dark side, because it's within all of us. We all have a light side and a dark side, even our nature. And Yoda says, fear is a path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, and hate leads to suffering. And so what ends up happening is I want to actually share with you the different things that leaders can sometimes use to scare people and manipulate people. And I really want you to be able to be strong enough to not let that affect you, right? And here are some of the more contemporary, Jedis with Rey and Baby Yoda, Grogu. It means a lot of meditation. It means connecting with your higher self. And so these are the things that we're going to really talk about that I don't think are often mentioned a lot in different leadership trainings, because, oh, that's woo-woo, or, oh, you can't talk about those subjects. That's about spirituality. But guess what? Here in Electus Society, I'm going to share with you my 20 years of experience on what I have learned, how to be successful, how to be a leader, and how to make positive change. Okay. And that's the only way that I know how, from everything that I've learned and read. So what are my expectations of you? Well, it's just very simple. Be humble and take action. So keep an open mind and participate, ask questions. A lot of these training videos have exercises, and so I want you to do them. And you must commit to the values in order to stay an active member of Electus Society. I'm very happy to report we have over 300 members, people who've been attending or graduated from 140 different colleges and universities from across the country, and I've only had to remove one member from Electus Society, and that person just wasn't committing to the values of Electus Society in terms of communication with other members. But the group of people that are here in Electus Society are really dedicated to growth and development, and from love, and to making a positive difference. So I'm really happy with the community that we've created. And again, in terms of humility, I always want to quote the famous Socrates, who lived many thousands of years ago. He said, the only true wisdom is knowing that you know nothing. And I think that is the way that you have to approach, where I don't know where you are in your leadership development, but even in Electus Society, whether you agree with what I say, whether you disagree, well, listen, that's fine. But keep an open mind, and see what you can take away that resonates with you. And I'm perfectly fine with that. So where are the networking opportunities to really connect with other members of Electus Society? Well, all through level 1 and level 2, we have all these videos. They're going to be on YouTube, right? And the reason why I put them on YouTube is so that I could have more time to dedicate to other different trainings. Okay, so watch all those videos, complete all the post assessments, because that's what I get credit for, you completing all those trainings, and then I can send you a certificate of completion. Level 3, I've already done it once, where we did about 7 trainings for level 3. I got a lot of great feedback from the current members. And so now by the end of the summer, I'm going to do level 3 again, and I'm going to spread it out, instead of 7 trainings, to do it in 10 trainings. And that way we can go into much more detail, much more different discussions. So that's going to be opportunity for you to network with other leaders from across the country. So the other way you can network with other leaders is every month, or approximately every month, I will cover a book or a topic about success, about leadership, something positive and I will like read or review the first 100 or 200 pages and encourage you to read the book, but you don't have to read the book in order to participate. But we're going to start off with a discussion question, and then we're going to go in some of these key concepts. Because again, I know that you're busy people. I'm a busy person as well, but reading about these books about leadership and success is fun for me. And to be able to not only digest this information, but also add my own experience and all the members adding their experience to these books and these ideas is going to help you better prepare yourself as becoming stronger and stronger leaders. So the other way you can actually network is we have a Telegram chat. Now, again, like I said, we over have 300 members. I think we have about, I would say 30 members on the Telegram chat. And it's okay, you know, but we love to have more and more members join. And what is the Telegram chat really for? It's to share what you're discovering in Electus Society, you know, something positive, like people can share inspirational videos, they can share inspirational quotes, you can actually share what you're working on, you can ask questions to the other members. So these are all great things that you can do. Now, here's the rules of what you can't do. It's not meant to have lengthy one-on-one conversations. If you do, switch to a private chat because, listen, I respect my time and I want to respect your time. It's an opportunity for you to share. Do not spam. Only share professional, appropriate content. We don't subscribe to any political party, so it's not used as a tool to advocate for this political cause or this cause. We just want to treat everybody with respect. And if you ever want to leave the group, guess what? We're not going to make you feel bad. It's up to you, right? So what are your next steps now? I'm assuming that you've already filled out the application and you've been accepted to become a member. The moment that that happens, we'll take the pre-assessment, right? This is I believe about 16 to 18 questions that are going to ask you, how would you rate yourself in all these different areas that I believe demonstrate as a leader. So, you know, be honest with those questions. And then once you actually complete level 1 of training for Electus Society, we'll give you another post-assessment of the entire program so that you will be able to see how you rate yourself and how you've grown from the time that you started from the time that you finished. Because again, I don't want you to just watch all these videos and say, oh, that felt nice, that was really good. I really want to measure performance. I really want to say, did you gain value from all this leadership development training? And so I'm pleased to inform you that so far, based on the studies and reviews of the data, we've seen approximately about 10% increase in your leadership ability just by participating in level 1 of Electus Society. So I'm very proud of that. So the next step for you to do is schedule a one-on-one with me. It's just about 30 minutes. I really love connecting with the members of Electus Society. I have time availabilities all throughout the week and on the weekends in case you're working or kind of busy. And so what I really want to do in that meeting is I want to get to know you, you get to know me, answer any questions about Electus Society. And my favorite part is helping support you personally and professionally. Listen, I am here where I am today because I had mentors that gave back to me. They wanted to share their experiences. They didn't tell me, Tim, you need to do this. They just said, this is my experience and this is what I did and this is what I learned from it. You get to decide what you want to do. So again, it's not trying to control people, it's just more sharing. And if there's anything that I can share from the last 2 decades of experience to help you on your journey, then I'm happy to do so. The way my mentors gave back to me, I'm paying it forward by giving it back to you. Also, as a reminder, join the Telegram chat. I'll send out a separate email with the link to join the Telegram chat. And then start watching the videos. Now, there's a lot of videos, over 30 hours worth of training. So how are you going to watch it all? Well, if it's not on your calendar, then it doesn't really exist. So my recommendation for you is to find some time, either in the morning or night, on the weekend, to just add an hour and 45 minutes, 1.75 hours on your calendar. Why do I say 1.75 or an hour and 45 minutes? Because every training is an hour and a half. And the last 15 minutes, I want you to have to be able to fill out the post assessment so that you can get credit while it's fresh in your head. And so if you can just do that every week, well, guess what? within a certain amount of time, you'll have completed all the trainings. Now, the first training that you're going to watch is called High Performance Communication for Friends, Families, and Foes. I really love this training. I think it's essential for you to be a successful leader. You're going to learn about preferred communication styles. You can learn how to be more compassionate, understanding people, how to flex your communication style. And this is something that I've done a lot of leadership trainings on personality types, but what I'm going to share with you is something that I don't really find very much, is it's why you dislike certain types of people. Wouldn't you want to know why that is? We talk about that, and as it relates to personality styles, we're even going to do something that's crazy that you're never supposed to talk about, which is religion and politics. We're going to talk about politics in this training. Well, are there different personality styles that lean more towards this political orientation or this political orientation? Yes, there's some studies and research on it. Now, the reason why I do that is because it will help you to understand people, why they believe the things that they believe. And then the last thing, which I think is so important, is which communication styles will increase your performance. Yes, I was taught in college, in my leadership trainings, that it doesn't matter what communication style you are, we can all be successful. Well, that's not entirely true. When I started working, I started to notice that certain communication styles and certain types of people and behaviors were promoted more than others. Ones were more successful than others. And so I want to be able to do these trainings, tell you the real world experience, stuff that I wasn't taught in college, and especially all through my leadership development training. And then lastly, remember, all Electus Society training is free. So you never have to pay a thing in order to become a member. However, I do want to have the organization grow. I do want to be able to do that and have resources to be able to do so. So what I did is I created almost like a Patreon-like page. It's called Buy Me a Coffee. It's a very, very easy, simple platform. And so if you decide to donate the price of a cost of Starbucks coffee, like $5 per month, well, guess what? I'm going to thank you by giving you all these different value and gifts, over $2,000 worth of value and gifts. So every year you'll get an annual surprise gift. The first one is going to be my copy of my first book that I wrote in 2012. There's going to be special LinkedIn promotions for you, special networking opportunities. You'll get a free 1-hour annual executive coaching session with me. I actually have a whole list of my network of all different people who have a high level of integrity that you can use for different resources. If you want to have more coaching with me, besides the annual coaching, there's something where we can offer you a different discount. And then I really seek feedback from these individuals. I call them the founding members, people who help support and grow Electus Society. So I'll ask them questions, surveys, because I really want them to help shape the organization. I don't want this organization to be all about Tim Duffy. I want this organization to be grown based on the members and what their wants and needs, and so that we can help create the next generation of active, motivated, and engaged leaders. So just to recap is fill out the pre-assessment. If you're already accepted as a member, schedule one-on-one with me, join the Telegram chat, watch level 1 to start off, add a different block of time on your, and make it a reoccurring event on your calendar. Just call it Electus Society or leadership training and make it a weekly thing. And then if you really love these trainings, well, help support us, help us grow by clicking on that link that's called Buy Me a Coffee /Electus Society, and you can find us there, or you can just see it on the website. So thank you so much. I can kind of give you a preview of once you complete level 1, there's a lot more trainings in level 2. We're going to be talking about professional success 101, how to get raised or promoted. I'm going to share all the different mistakes that I made, and then all the different things that really worked for me so that you can help grow in terms of your career and profession. Creating wealth and financial abundance, my story, both of successes and failures. Creating health and wellness, my story. I'm also going to bring a special guest who is a certified in functional nutrition. She's great. Mindfulness 101 is all about, increasing your awareness, about meditation, about the positive benefits of mindfulness. We're going to be talking about increasing your power and influence in politics to create lasting positive change. I'm going to share with you how I completely transformed my relationships with my family members, with my friends, even some people that I found were my enemies at my job. How did I do that? How was I able to transform that? That means I'll share with you how I did it so that you can do it yourself. And then once you complete level 1 and level 2, I'm really excited for level 3 for you. That's where we're going to do a deep dive in some of these topics. Learn about networking, LinkedIn, small talk, and public speaking. Some of you may be interested in citing your own business or side hustle. Well, I'm going to talk about my successes and failures in that. Then what we're going to be doing is talking about historical leadership lessons and raising your consciousness, stuff that is not taught in the history books. I think that there's a lot to learn from the pandemic about leadership and preparing for the future. And so I think that I do a lot of all these different level 3 trainings. There's a lot of research that went into this. And then another training is going to be preparing for the future of climate change. Now, again, I don't go into the conservative or liberal attitudes towards climate change. Is it man-made, a CO2 that's causing climate change? People believe that we're already just part of geological cycles. I don't go into the debate about climate change. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be talking about it and how you can be more resilient in the future of what's actually happening. And I'm going to share stuff that's not really talked about in the media that I think you're going to find very beneficial. And we're going to be also talking about creating not world peace, but universal peace. And then lastly, we have a training on health and wellness and and mental health care, because you got to take care of yourself, because if you're not here mentally, then it's going to affect everything in your life. So really excited by all the different trainings. I appreciate all of you. Look forward to you watching the trainings, for you to fill out the post assessments. I read every response of the post assessments, and let's join me on this journey together for you to expand your personal and professional skills so that we can create positive change by creating active and engaged leaders. And thank you so much for your time. I appreciate all of you. I look forward to seeing you at the next live leadership library trainings that happen once a month, or in the level 3 trainings. I'm always available if you have email with questions and things like that. Thank you so much, and then have a great day and a great week. Bye-bye.